African wisdom is unique and universal. Our proverbs are very good at giving life lessons and simple messages. The proverbs are African wisdom that we share with our children. Welcome to Wisdom of Africa, your weekly wisdom dosage. My name is Karen. We'll be starting a series of videos just talking about African proverbs and trying to decipher what they mean. Do you know, I was actually thinking, should we start in the north, east, west? So I was like, you know what, actually, we'll give the honor to Nigeria. So today we are going to talk about 5 Nigerian proverbs, try and decipher them, understand them, and also use some everyday examples to see that we get them. The thing is, the reason I'm very interested in telling you about proverbs is because our children in diaspora are actually losing that aspect of our culture. We used to gather as children when we were younger with elders, trying to tell us about our history and how we communicate life messages through these proverbs. So let's get started. Proverb number 1 says that it's only a foolish man who doesn't realize that his sister is a visitor to the family. Oh my goodness, what a painful proverb. However, it doesn't literally mean that sisters to families are just guests in the family. In fact, me being a feminist, I actually would have rather they used maybe a man as an example, but there must be a reason why they used the sister. So let's try and decipher what this means. Now, it is painful, but it's to define boundaries. In general terms, we Africans tend to refer to everybody as a brother or a sister. However, is it everybody that you're going to welcome into your house or into your bedroom or into your private life simply because you met them on the road and refer to them as brother or sister? Of course not. And this is why we're talking about defining boundaries. So you need to actually know who it is that you're dealing with, define relationships, and if they're not working, then you can move on. So seriously, the crazy me had to pick this proverb. I actually find it very funny and hilarious. And the only reason being is that it talks about one of the African taboos. You know, farting is a taboo in every African community. But the joke is the elders did make a proverb about farting. Proverb number 2 says, a madman farted and say, that one is gone. Take a moment and think about what that means. You fart and that's gone. So technically, you're not gonna fart that fart twice. It's a fart, it's gone. Then there will be another fart. But what that means is it's about project management or things in life that go through a process. So, for example, you're having building works like we Africans, we like building our own houses and stuff. Once you lay the foundation of that house, that fat is gone. You're not going to have to build the foundation again because you built the foundation. The next thing will be to put up maybe the structure, the walls, and things like that. Once you do something, do it right, that's gone, move on, and do the next thing. So, we visited, like I said to you, Nigeria, and it's the 5 proverbs. We've already done 2. We're going to come to the third one. But would it really be fitting if I talked about Nigeria and didn't add in the eh? Did you understand me? But anyway, so proverb number 3 says, if a man wants to eat a toad, let him by all means eat a large, fatty toad. Think about it. If a man wants to eat a toad, let him eat a large, fatty toad. Let's think about what that means. What this means is if somebody wants to dream, let them dream big. Symbolizes trying to reach what people think is the impossible and then making it possible. I mean, guys, we've heard about all these stories. We've heard about people like Jack Ma, for example. I know this is an African channel, but I've used a Chinese example. There is nothing wrong with that, yeah? But the reason I'm using Jack Ma is if you've read his story, this guy tried to apply for jobs like no man's business. Everybody was turning him down. He could get a job in KFC for crying out loud. Guess what? 16-year-olds in diaspora, anyone can work in a KFC. This guy couldn't. He dared to dream big. He ate his toad and he ate a very large toad. Because guess what? The man's one of the richest people in the whole world. Go Jack Ma. It now brings us to proverb number 4. Again, sorry, me being me, we have to talk about buttocks. So, the proverb says that since we saw the buttocks of the famous wine trapper, his wine has become tasteless. Think about it. Famous wine trapper, that means he was selling wine. Everybody was probably buying his wine. The man was famous. But guess what? Then one day, people saw his buttocks, and then the wine became tasteless. So, what this means and what this is trying to teach us is that when somebody that is of high standing in the community does something to probably disgrace themselves, what tends to happen is we lose respect for that person. For example, our parents, children in general, they hold their parents in very high regard. But I mean, come on, can you imagine looking at your dad's buttocks or your mom's buttocks? Would you genuinely really be respecting them the same way? And that's what this is teaching us. So young children in diaspora, we Africans in general, we really need to learn to live by a certain standard. Try and live by example so that we are not disgracing our communities, so that we are not exposing our buttocks, as the saying goes. Eh, eh. Last but not least, we come to the last proverb. I'm going to try my Nigerian accent. Apparently, it doesn't sound Nigerian, but I'm going to try anyway. The last proverb says, if you steal a chicken, or if I'm accused of stealing a chicken, I will steal the mother. If I'm accused of stealing a young chicken, I will steal the mother. Take a moment. Think about it. Let's decipher that. What that means is that it's very difficult for people in general to face the music and accept when they're at fault. And actually, my fellow Africans, I'm going to challenge you. I'm not blaming, I'm not name shaming, I'm not pointing fingers. But in most cases, we always tend to say or believe or indicate that it's someone else's fault. Why don't we sometimes look inside and accept when things have gone wrong, or accept a portion of our faults when things have gone wrong? I'm going to leave you on a very positive note. Use that proverb to inspire you to look beyond little achievement. Please don't steal the small chicken. Steal the mother. Bigger. Knowledge without wisdom is like water in the sun. So, if you liked any of our proverbs, subscribe to our channel, Haynock TV. Come back for more. But also, I want to turn it on to you now. Could you please come over, tell me which proverb you really enjoyed the most, that you found intriguing, any questions that you think I didn't really break down very well? Come on, Africans. We don't want to lose our history. We want to remind ourselves of how we were told to do things and pass it on from generation to generation. It's me, your girl, Karen. See you again next week. Bye bye for now.